Updating your resume can feel completely overwhelming, and we all know what happens when something feels overwhelming.
Nope.
We just don't do it, which is why today I'm going to share with you 10 easy tips that you can implement today to instantly improve your resume. Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm here to take your job search from stressful to successful. Now, why in the world should you even listen to me? Well, I spent over 17 years in HR and recruiting, so have seen thousands upon thousands of resumes. And I currently work one-on-one with clients, so I know what works and what doesn't. And wait until tip number 10, because this one is a complete game changer when it comes to structuring your bullet points. Now, number one is that you need to completely remove all I statements from your resume. Now, these pop up a lot in that professional summary section. I am looking for a position as an accountant. I am looking to use my skills in Excel. At this point, the company doesn't care about you. I know this sounds harsh, but they don't. They will eventually, but right now you need to focus on what the company needs. Number two is to add hyperlinks. You want to make it as easy as possible for the recruiter and the hiring manager who are reviewing your resume. So if you're adding your LinkedIn profile, that should be a hyperlink. If you're adding your email, which of course you should be, that should be a hyperlink as well. Another place you can add hyperlinks is your companies that you have worked at. Now, a lot of times you will hear the advice to give a little blurb about what that company does, but think about it. You're taking valuable real estate with that when you could simply just create a hyperlink, which will then bring them to the company's site. Number three is that you need to remove references available upon request. I have my own thoughts about references, but that's a completely different video. But at this point in time, yeah, that's just a given, right? If I ask for references, that you'll give them. There is no need to put that on your resume. That's just taking up space. Number four is that you need to be aware of the consistency that you're using with your wording. I have seen resumes that will bring in past tense, will bring in present tense within the same company's bullet points. Manage team of, lead projects for. This just looks sloppy, and you do not want to come across as sloppy. And if you like to use AI to help you polish up your resume, I do have a free guide with 25 ChatGPT prompts specifically for your resume, and you can grab that for free below. Next is to remove the dates from your education, unless you are a new grad. By new grad, I'm talking a couple years or less out of school. And there are multiple reasons for this. One is because as you continue to gain experience, that is going to take precedence over when you graduated. But also, unfortunately, we're still dealing with some age discrimination in the hiring process. So don't give them that information up front. And number six is to cut down on your bullet points. An ideal number of bullet points per position is about 3 to 5. Now, if you have a position that is directly related to the positions that you're applying to, and you're like, all of this is such good information, you can add one or two more. But once you start getting too many on there, it's just overwhelming. I once had a client who had 13 bullet points per position. I was like, whoo, we need to cut these down. And point number 7 is that your resume should be 2 pages max. Now, there are exceptions if you're in specific fields like the medical field, science. In that case, yes, you'd probably be longer because you're using a CV. But for the majority of people, 2 pages max. And think about it this way. If you're a recruiter and you're only spending 6 to 10 seconds on a resume, you're not going to get to page 3. You're not going to get to page 4. So 2 pages, you don't have to squeeze it all into one. I don't know where that information came from, especially if you are more seasoned in your career. 2 pages is perfectly acceptable. And point 8 is to add quantifiable data where appropriate. Now, for example, I have supported a team of 10 and I have supported a team of 300. There is a big difference between those two sizes. And if I'm applying for a position where I know I'd be supporting a big team, heck yeah, I'd want to show on my resume that I have experience dealing with that size department. Number 9 is that you need to be very discerning about the older work experience you have on your resume. Now, older work experience, anywhere, if it's definitely if it's 20 plus years, but if we're thinking 16, 17 years, that's considered to be a little bit older work experience. Now, I'm not saying you should completely remove it if it is relevant to the positions that you're applying to. If it's relevant, create a section titled relevant work experience or additional work experience and put those relevant bullet points in that section. And finally, if you are having trouble with how you should construct your resume bullet point, I've got this one formula that is completely going to be a game changer. And it is called the Google XYZ Formula. And it goes like this: accomplished X as measured by Y by doing Z. This structure is perfect for a bullet point because it is showing your accomplishments, showing how you did it, and your impact. So if you're feeling lost, refer back to this so you have a bit more guidance. There you go. Quick tips you can use today. And if you are looking for a video to help you level up your interviewing skills, well, I got you covered up here.